a Fox News alert as liberal Roe versus Wade activists are trying to take their protests to the homes of Supreme Court Justices Kavanaugh and Roberts, both Catholics.
They're reportedly planning to head to Justice Samuel Alito's home tomorrow and will hit Catholic churches this morning.
Alexandria Hoff joins us live from Washington. Alexandria.
Well, good morning. You know, these protests, they went through the evening, moving back and forth from Justice Roberts and Kavanaugh's homes. And Montgomery County Police in Maryland stood by for all of this as things became more and more heated. It took place in a residential community called Chevy Chase, and it was made possible largely by the home addresses of conservative justices being published online following the leak of Justice Alito's draft opinion on Roe v. Wade. Another protest, as you mentioned, is expected to take place at his home tomorrow. Chris Scalia, son of the late Justice Antonin Scalia, he weighed in on this.
When justices try to intervene and settle cultural and social debates that are really outside of their jurisdiction, they fail. And that obviously was the case with Roe. Overturning Roe does not mean banning abortion across America, as many people seem to believe. It means that people actually get to vote on the issue, which is how it should be.
Now, given that 6 of the 9 justices were raised Catholic, the faith itself is being targeted on this Mother's Day with a call for abortion advocates to rally both outside and in Catholic churches. A group called Ruth Sent Us tweeted this: "Stuff your rosaries and your weaponized prayer. We will remain outraged after this weekend, so keep praying. We'll be burning the Eucharist to show our disgust for the abuse Catholic churches have condoned for centuries." And here's something else. Justice Clarence Thomas said that Supreme Court justices should not be bullied into making certain decisions. To that, former press secretary for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, Brianna Joy Gray, tweeted for people to, quote, bully them harder. So what's acceptable? What's legal? Coming up, we have Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares, Jonathan Morris, and Jack Brewer to weigh in on all that. Will, Rachel, Pete.
All right, thank you, Alexandria.
Sure.
Wow, so disturbing. And again, the group writing that really disgusting tweet is Ruth Sent Us. And remember, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was famously friends with Justice Antonin Scalia, a very devout Catholic. It may be interesting for people who aren't Catholic to understand just how evil, frankly, and discriminatory and hurtful that tweet was, because the Eucharist, that tweet says we're going to burn the Eucharist. The Eucharist is the pinnacle, is the center of the Catholic faith. We believe that is the body of Christ. It is literally the most sacred religious thing in our faith. And so for you to send a tweet out like that is just, it's so unbelievable. I can't even put it into words. And just so people know, this week and last week are also times of First Communion. I really hope these protesters don't carry out this threat.
I know that Wall says pro-choice protests. They really should be called pro-abortion protests.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Enthusiasm with which they're...
Agreed.
And some of the disgusting stuff, Will, you've talked about holding up babies and signs that say abortion saves lives. I mean, this is a zealotry and an extremism now outside the houses of individual justices in the middle of the night and into churches specifically, if it was the other side would be deemed targeted hate crimes.
Yeah.
The conversation is always focused on the protest. It's not focused on actually what this law is intended to protect, and that is the children in the womb. And you had a fascinating conversation a little bit earlier with 3 abortion survivors. Watch this.
You know, you hear in the mass media that they support pro-choice. Well, I have to wonder, as an adult woman living with cerebral palsy and being an abortion survivor, where were my rights in the womb?
I was in the hospital and I was very sick from all the complications that I received physically because of all the attempts on my life in the womb. Abortion is an opportunity to mask a lot of, things that they don't want to talk about a lot of times. And here we are, the living proof that abortion is actually the killing of a human being.
I'm so proud of our network for actually sharing these stories, because these are not euphemisms. Those women that you saw, they are real people. They are not choices. They are not fetuses. They are real people. And in some cases, they are bearing very physical injuries that they still have to deal with because of the survival of what happened to them during the procedure, and they survived. And I was just really blown away, and I think people don't understand that there are many survivors of this procedure. And I think it's time for us to stop talking in euphemisms and talk about what really happened, and then we can make informed choices.
It was a great interview. Really appreciate it.